Okay, so the three topics we're going to talk about is life after an identity crisis, nervous system regulation, and redefining independence. Life after an identity crisis is interesting. It's like you're getting to know who you are in this season of your life. Everything isn't completely new, it's just a mix, a balance, and it takes some time to really get used to. There's definitely a lot of redefining moments that can be a bit unsettling for the time being. It definitely feels like an emotional roller coaster at times, but it's worth it. It comes with asking yourself a lot of questions. Who are you now? What do you stand for? How has your character developed from this identity crisis? How did your personality change as a result of this as well? You have to redefine who you are and what you stand for, what your core values are. You're basically rebuilding your life and your identity. Sometimes it can be terrifying because of not knowing certain things about yourself or about your life, but it is freeing at the same time because there's many opportunities to explore those things. Maybe you revisit some old hobbies that you used to have when you were a child. Maybe you take those and incorporate them into your adulthood, and it just brings you more joy in your day. Relationship shift, behaviors change, routines change, a lot of things change, but at your core, everything still remains the same, of course. Like, for example, for me, I love performing, I love entertaining. I have a long history of entertaining, and I just really love it. And as I came out of my identity crisis to come back to me performing and entertaining, I found myself stuck because the experience was different than beforehand. I had to redefine what it meant to me from this point forward and how it serves in my life now as an adult. Did I want to take it far? Did I want to just keep it as a small, habitual moment? Did I want to use it to joy, connection, relief? Yeah, just getting back to some of those old things that you used to love as a child really does help. And of course, yours might not be entertaining. It might not be the same thing that I find very valuable. It could be something completely different. It could bring you joy. It could bring you connection. Just going back to some of the things that really gave you that spark, because we are adults and adulthood can be a little tumultuous. That one thing that is really nice after an identity crisis is nervous system regulation. I know that within the last 5 or so years, mental health has been a trending topic, and I love to see people now talking about nervous system regulation because I've experienced it as well. And I think that it's just such a great thing. I don't know every single identification term within the mental health conversations, but I think that I have been experiencing a lot of the somatic ways. When you have a very active mind, sometimes you just need like a little jolt. And it can be something like a cold glass of water, literally splashing your face with cold water too, a HIIT workout, or maybe 30 seconds of just jumping in place. So many healthy ways to keep your nervous system regulated. Of course, I don't have all of the tips, but after the identity crisis, nervous system regulation has become so much better, and it's just all connected. Like for some of us, yes, we need safety, of course, but some of our nervous systems need a little extra stimulation, a little thrill. And it's been interesting to see how things have changed in my life when it comes to regulating my nervous system. And you might not have thought that you'd ever do some of the things that you're doing now to regulate your nervous system that you've done before. It's just so freeing and thrilling. And after the identity crisis and you're developing your identity, your new identity, it can get a bit exhausting to do that work because it's daily conscious effort to decide who you are, what you stand for, how you behave this way, how you live that way, long-term goals, short-term goals. Nervous system regulation is just so important because it helps you to stay grounded. These behaviors last long after an identity crisis, and they can also be developed per season on what suits you best. Like, you might watch very thrilling films in one season, and then in another season, you could do acupuncture. I know those are two different activities that you probably haven't thought of in the same sentence, but the possibilities are like endless when it comes to nervous system regulation. And if they aren't endless, then there's so many different ways to keep your nervous system regulated as you are developing your identity and just living that out. Okay, so I literally just had to cry a little bit. I'm back on camera. I'm back with y'all. So yes, like, crying might not be your thing. It could be dancing, it could be intense HIIT workout, it could be a weighted blanket. So many different ways to keep your nervous system regulated with such appreciation. Like, having just a couple of these options for yourself for even a season, 3 months, it's so transformational. You get to just make some amazing decisions that you probably wouldn't be able to make had your nervous system not be regulated and your identity was outdated or stuck in the past. So, a quarter life crisis is real for some of us. A midlife crisis is real. I might go through a midlife crisis. You might go through a midlife crisis. I see the good in it now because I've been through one before. And if that was to happen next time, enjoy the ride. And the last thing is redefining your independence. I think that some of us have assumed that we were independent. Really, we were hyper independent. And those are two completely different things. Hyper independence is trying to do everything yourself and struggling, failing at it miserably. Independence, to me, is knowing what you can and can't do, and in the things that you can't do, get someone else to do them, delegate, hire, collaborate, connect with who else is strong where you are weak, and vice versa. I think that we have developed a identity of hyper independence because we thought that if we did it all, then we'd feel safe. If we did it all, then we'd be loved. If we did it all, then we'd be secure, we'd live a good life. But if that were to be true, we would be living as such. We would have that good life. We would have security. We would feel safe. Redefining your independence still means that you're maintaining certain things. You're responsible for certain things, just not everything. And I think that's such a wise, intentional way to be and to think about independence from this point forward. Like, you can rely on others while still maintaining your autonomy. You can still rely on others while you maintain your identity. You can rely on others and still feel safe. There's literally over 7 billion people on this earth. We were not meant to do it completely alone. You will be fine. And in the midst of being independent, you get to determine who is allowed to be along with you for the ride. And there's such fun in that, like, just getting to know who these people are, how you connect with them, how you collaborate, the types of projects and things that you do with each other from start to end, and then just collecting so many different experiences of that. And it doesn't have to be anything too serious right now. It could be something as simple as adding a service to your maintenance. So, life after an identity crisis, nervous system regulation, and redefining your independence, it will be a crazy journey for sure, an emotional roller coaster, but it'll be well worth it. It will level out. And sometimes it might be a bit boring because you might not be chasing a lot of chaos or thrill or getting caught in a lot of drama like you used to. but you're still able to enjoy some of the thrilling and dramatic moments in life where you might be crying your eyes out 3 times in a day just because it helps you to stay grounded, or enjoying a very dramatic movie. Yeah, but the process is just, it is what it is. And I just wanted to share that because I think that it's so important as I've been experiencing it myself. And I think that it could really help someone who might be going through an identity crisis, might be going through one and not know it, because that's possible. And I'm on the other side just to tell y'all that it is phenomenal. You know, the good, the bad, the highs, the lows, the neutral points, it's well worth it. So, yeah.